Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's session. So, I'm Valdrin. I'm the senior analyst for BeInCrypto, and today we have Konstantin, as always, who is our global trader, and we're going to talk about which coins have interesting setups right now. So, I will share my screen immediately and just go right to the coins. So, uh, yeah, you can see the chart. Okay, so for me, I'll just clean everything. So the first one is CHZ. I've talked about this coin for a while, and despite failure to break out and its underperformance actually now during the World Cup, I still think it has a very interesting setup. Now in the weekly time frame, so I'm using the log here, it's basically still facing resistance. So it was rejected several times by this descending resistance line here, most recently close to the end of November. And also, actually, I think that's a channel, not a line, if it's a channel. So basically, it's been going upwards since June 2022, and right now it's trying to find support right above the middle of the channel. So if it does that, it would be a pretty decent bullish sign in my opinion, and would likely lead to an upward movement and then an eventual breakout from the channel. Now, what I also like is this RSI breakout. So if you look at the same time frame, basically the weekly RSI has broken out from its own descending resistance line, and it is now above, but it has now actually fallen below 50. So I do like that the RSI did break out, but I do not like that the RSI fell below the 50 line. But to me, the much more interesting setup comes from the daily time frame. So now, actually, I think we can go even lower than the daily. So 6 hour. I think in one of the previous webinars, we were taking a look at this move here. So this ABC move here. Let's just move to the regular chart now. So that I think had an exactly 1-to-1 ratio. Not exactly, but very, very close. And yeah, so basically once we moved below these highs here, so we had some overlap, then the move did look corrective, confirmed by the breakdown. And so the most likely scenario in this case was an ABC. So basically this meant that this entire movement that we were previously taking a look at, so basically this entire movement here is just part of a larger B wave, and now we have a C wave down. And also waves A and C have very, very, very close to 1-1 ratio again. So to me, this just further supports the possibility that the bottom will be reached here soon. Now the alternative would be like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I know it just seems weird to me just because of the shape of the C wave, of the 3 wave, because this has become somewhat gradual, and if it were a 3 wave, we'd expect it to just like immediately rip through that level. And another thing which I do like is this. So basically we have some really, really strong support here. And yes, so what I'm seeing, oh yeah, we need the black one here and remove, sorry. So basically this. So what I'm seeing is that we have an ABC correction in which waves A and C had an exactly 1-1 ratio, And then CHZ bounced right above this long-term support here at 0.13 something. Now, ideally, I would have really liked to see some either bullish divergence on the RSI or some sort of breakout, but sadly there isn't any. But still, in my opinion, the price action here is really good to just take a at least take a punt on it, and even short term the short term RSI is very close to like all-time lows here. Basically, almost every single time it dropped to these levels, it actually bounced swiftly. And let me see if there's some sort of pattern there, but probably not. No, I don't think there's anything here. Yeah, but again, there are like several signs which I kind of like on CHZ, mostly on the daily, but even the weekly doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a comment saying the markets are about to get nuked. Well, yeah, I certainly agree to a degree because markets look really bearish, and if you follow Twitter, the shit show continues, and we really don't know where the market is heading. Especially if there is anything true about Binance being bankrupt or something like that, then I don't know how crypto could like handle that. um, but yeah, Bitcoin might come out stronger than ever. So I think it really highlights this whole debate about decentralization because people should realize that the crypto industry is really centralized to this point. So that's really besides the point of crypto, and maybe this gives us the right direction to head towards a truly decentralized industry. So I don't have really much to share about bullish setups, but I definitely have some coins that I want to present now. So I'm gonna share my screen. So the first setup that I see here is Chili's, which looks incredible bearish to me. And we broke the golden ratio support. And we also broke the next support at roughly 14 cents. So I think we will probably head towards this next support area at 0.8. 0.08 cents. So this could lead to a drop of roughly 40%. And yeah, market in general looks really bearish to me. I don't think this will happen overnight, but like in the midterm, I totally see Chili's going down to its previous yearly low. And in general, I would say that we didn't hit new yearly lows yet, although the market is that bearish, is kind of a good sign. But then still, I believe it's just like postponed. If there is anything like, is there like, I think the market will react heavily to next big bad news if any of those will be confirmed. But then also, I think if we have some positive sentiment about the market and the FUD goes away, then I think the market will recover very fast, because I think everybody's like really cautious right now. But yeah, so this is one setup because basically you have a short opportunity of roughly 40%. For me to be to invalidate this setup, we have to break the 50-week EMA at the FIP resistance, roughly at 20 cents basically. So if we go higher than 20 cents, then this setup is invalidated. But it's roughly the same rise, then it could fall now. So I'm definitely leaning bearish because of the indicators, because of the weekly MACD also indicating a further downward movement. But on the bullish side, I'm really bullish on GMX still, and basically what we discussed last time is that it could basically correct to this resistance, which now turned into a support, and basically bounce from it. So yeah, that happened now, and I think we're heading towards the all-time high. So we still have like, this was roughly the price range of last time, so we still have 80% towards the upside, but all-time high is just one little resistance, and GMX is still like sitting at a very small market capitalization, and basically the negative news surrounding centralized exchanges could definitely fuel a bull run for that coin. So this is probably the only setup where I'm really bullish on, even though market might be dumping. Because if I look at Bitcoin in general, who typically leads the direction of the market, we basically tried many times to break this golden ratio resistance and failed. So yeah, I'm even thinking about closing my long entries at those support levels because it doesn't really look convincing to me. So we had this nice bounce here where you could have like, oh, I have to deactivate that. So it's basically a bounce of roughly 4%, and then like that's about it. We got rejected again, and yeah, we probably break that support zone here, head towards the golden ratio support at 16,200, and then we could definitely go to the yearly low of 15,500. So we might bounce from the golden ratio, but yeah, it doesn't look convincing to me at all. And then like the last setup that I see here, but it's also pretty even, is Cosmos, which currently sits at the golden ratio support level. We had like a pretty decent bounce a little bit below it. So this was like 20% bounce. Well, so it doesn't necessarily look like it will hold. So I'm leaning towards the bearish setup, but then we have like 25% downside potential. So that would be pretty nice for a short entry here. The MACD lines are about to cross bearishly. Histogram of the daily MACD is ticking bearishly lower. So yeah, if I would force a trade, I would go short here. But then like to invalidate that setup, we have roughly the same upward potential than downward potential. So in general, I feel like not trading the crypto market right now. I'm more looking at SP and DAX, which I also short because looks like there's a correction wave going on. But yeah, we will see. I mean, SP 500, we discussed that last time, also has some bullish setups. So basically, we have to wait for confirmation, basically, because we could also see that as a successful bounce of the 50-day EMA support. But I mean, in the long term, it really looks like we face rejection, especially also for the German DAX. So let me just. So yeah, so even if we take away all the fib levels, basically it looks like a rejection at the 50-week EMA resistance. So then also like we're in this descending parallel channel. So for me, it really looks like a start of this next correction wave. But then also, if we bounce from one of the fib supports, we have a pretty good chance of continuing the upward movement. But yeah, in general, really, I don't see any pretty bullish setup other than GMX. and that's why I'm really cautious trading the markets right now. So I think that's about it. We still have like 15 minutes left.
I can go over a setup. I guess one I want to do is BTC.
Oh yeah, great.
And okay, so if BTC is one of the setups which I've liked the most for a while. Uh, so several reasons for this. So I'm using the normal chart here, not the logarithmic chart. And okay, let me just go through it slowly. So the first one is the breakout from the channel and its subsequent validation as support. So basically we have breakout here. Sorry, price comes down and bounces again. So to me, this is a strong bullish sign and also becomes much, much better by the fact that the RSI broke from its bearish divergence trend line. So basically we had this bearish divergence trend line here. So this one, and then afterward, the RSI broke up above it, came here, validated it again, and it's now holding above 50. So I would really, really love to see the RSI continue trading above 50 here, because if it starts going down, then to me that would be a sign that the trend could be turning bearish. I would also like to see this level get taken out, but still we seem to have some time until that happens. So basically I really like the weekly movement here. And then when we go to the daily movement, a little more unclear, but I still kind of like it. So basically we have this massive support here. Yeah, I'm guessing it's here, really, really strong support line. Hoping that doesn't break now. And yeah, RSI is a little neutral, but keep in mind, so the daily RSI did generate bullish divergence here. And its trend line is still intact, so that's another good sign. And then next we do have this bounce at the support line here, and then the creation of this bullish engulfing candlestick. Now, shorter term, we do seem to have some sort of resistance line here. Maybe it broke, maybe it didn't, I'm not sure. And now let's move to so I mainly like this for the weekly chart, because of the weekly chart, sorry. And keep in mind, so since this is the SBTC pair, even if this goes up, it won't necessarily mean that the ETH price will go up. It might also mean that the ETH price is decreasing by a smaller amount than BTC, which would also cause the ETH BTC price to go up, obviously. Now, the only bearish alternative I'm seeing here is if this entire thing is like some sort of B-wave triangle, and then we'll have something like this. I know, maybe like this, and then another drop. But I know, I think we'll have time to figure that out if that happens. And I don't think it's that likely to happen, to be honest. Now, let me just look at some correlations between ETH BTC and Bitcoin. So right now the correlation has been mostly positive. So this means that when the Bitcoin price is going up, the the ETH BTC price is also going up, while when the BTC price is going down, the ETH BTC pair is also going down. And then check some correlation again, but now with Ethereum. It should be the same, to be honest, when I think about it, but yeah, it's the same. So yeah, basically we kind of need some positive movement for this to go up. But then this is also very closely related to the Bitcoin dominance rate, because ETH is the largest altcoin. And I mean, the Bitcoin dominance rate is at support, but bounces are getting weaker each time. It did actually break down from its bullish divergence trend line, and now the RSI is below 50. So basically, if this crashes, then sure, BTC can probably make a run for it. Uh, let's see if we get any questions, or maybe we're gonna have a slightly shorter session today. I'll look at a few. Sorry. Setups real quick, but I'm not really sure. I mean, right now the market looks, I mean, it's either bearish, I mean, it's mostly bearish, but, or uncertain, I guess.
Yeah, I'm leaning on uncertain with a bearish bias because there's so much stuff going on. I mean, normally I completely ignore all the noise from news, but this time it's really different because it feels like a coordinated attack on the whole industry. You know, like one bad news after the other, and yeah, for now we need those big centralized players, and if they are not who they claim to be, then I see a huge problem for this whole industry, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, no, hopefully the news about Binance is just fun, because if it's not, things won't be that well, obviously. Uh, I don't know, maybe just like a few setups which kind of look identical to me actually, or COTI and SOL. So basically, I mean, these are like bearish setups, obviously, for shorting. So basically, what happened here is that the yearly low broke. So, like most coins had some sort of support they created between June and October, and then in this case, it broke. Now, this also coincides with the descending resistance line. So, basically, it'd be bearish as long as that isn't reclaimed. And then the next areas of support is about slightly more than 50% below the current price. And I think the same thing happened at the Binance pair with Solana. So yeah, this one looks worse obviously because it was so closely connected with Alameda. But yeah, and actually in the case of SOL, I don't really see any support until like 4. So yeah, if this starts going down, it will really, really go down. I mean, I guess those are my setups for today. And we didn't really get any questions today, and there haven't been that many live viewers for some reason.
Yeah, maybe I think it's the general sentiment of the market for now.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, usually interest heavily declines during, like, not even bear markets, because like people are trying to make profit when there are sharp drops in the bear market, but these periods of like very small gradual movement, kind of, I think they kind of just lull everyone to sleep slowly, and then you just
Yeah.
pick up and you see this like massive candle with like 20% either up or down, which like finally breaks the range and begins the next move.
Yeah, exactly. It really feels like a sleeping cycle rather than a bear cycle.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess since we don't have any questions, we can like wrap it up like
Yeah.
5 minutes sooner today. Okay, guys. So I hope more people will join us next time, and thanks a lot for those that joined today. But yeah, we will see each other next week, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Take care.